TNT Sports welcomes you to California Speedway for qualifying for tonight's Chevrolet MyLink 400. It has been a hot one this weekend. Temperatures in the mid to upper 90s. And compared to how wild things were Monday at Darlington, we might see some interesting stories. Some of the penalties that we found. Both drivers, Jacob 2 and Alvin Alonso, were docked $100,000, fined 50 and 25 owner points respectively, and both of their crew chiefs were placed on probation. And Apollo Moon was obviously he had to go to the hauler post race. He was fined $50,000 and docked 10 owner points. Caleb Hoffman, however, was not penalized. Anyways, more on the Apollo Moon thing. He was actually banned from practicing Friday evening. In the first practice Friday evening here in California, and I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be using notes for that as conditions for what it'll be like when these drivers take the green flag later tonight. Anyways, we got 3 rounds. Today, 15 minutes. And first time group qualifying will be done in California. Keep in mind, it was attempted earlier this year, but we know the deal of how that panned out. Now, as we look on the left side of your screen, drivers that are marked in green are going to be in the chase. Drivers that are in yellow can make it in on points but want to win. And drivers that are in red need to win and be inside the top 25 to be considered eligible for the chase. And now, here's 15 minutes on the clock. Now, a little past 5:30 here on the East Coast. The prayer show will begin at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, with the green flag being later tonight at 9. And the leader of those is the 25 and Noah Spalding. Remember, he has a win here, but he is sitting 27th in points. He needs to be in the top 25 at the end of the checkered flag tonight. When that checkered flag falls, to be considered chase eligible. Then he'll really screw up some brackets. I mean, of course, since he won, now it just threw a whole bunch of different scenarios in the middle of that. You see Noah Spalding taking time. Now, technically, he did win, but if he was in the top 25, he would be marked in green, but since he's 27th in points, he is marked in red, referring to the fact that he does have to get into the top 25 to be considered chase eligible. Now, as you look through the rest of the coming off turn 2, you'll notice new colors on the 24 team for tonight and for 3 races in the chase. 2 of those will be night races. The Liberty University signed on to sponsor the 24 team and will be one of 2 prime areas for when Hunter Miller takes the 24 ride and when Jacob 2 goes to And the entire 24 team goes to the 9 car. And the Liberty University car will also run Charlotte and Bowman Gray in the round of 12. As we all know, over the summer, Charlotte was recently announced to be run on a Saturday night. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how that plays out. Also, with how slick it is, and California is still a wide racetrack, as you saw, the 18 Toyota is down on the bottom. The 24 entered turn 3 and 4 pretty high. He's currently second quickest on the charts right now. And now we got about 4 cars on pit road that are waiting. Blake Dillon also had a pre-inspection. Had a lot of inspection issues. Now again, California is part of the more wider 2-mile tracks on the schedule. You see the 14 entered pretty low. The 22 entered more towards the wall. Also, one thing to note is a lot of races in the chase are going to be at night this year. With North Carolina, Charlotte, and the entire round of 8 being at night. So that's half the chase races are going to be at night, including the entire round of 8. As we look at our Credit One Bank Fast 5, the one of Grayson Alcevdo, he got in the chase with a win that Friday morning in Chicagoland, followed by Jacob Tube, Joshua Leanbach, Arvin Alonso in the 17, and Dylan Murway in the 4. They are your Credit One Quick 5. Fast 5. And then the rest of the top 10 will be Noah Spalding. Using some new colors this weekend. Adams Polishes on the car. He will also sponsor the race in Brighton they will also sponsor the Brighton race later this fall. Now remember, these drivers have to do everything they can to get into the top 12, especially the guys that are kind of on that in-between, sort of, such as that top 24. Guys like Zox Moon, she sits 18th right now. And Zach Speed 15th. Joseph Lombard sits 17th. So remember that there's going to be multiple drivers that are going to be out. I think everybody's doing everything they can to get in. And there are 4 drivers that have not taken time. The 55, the 9, and the 10, and the 29. Sorry, the 29 is going off 4 now. Marty's standing on pit road next to Dylan Murway. 5th quickest in the Jimmy John Chevrolet. Are you going to be going out and making another run in this round? Oh, no. We ran a couple laps, saw it, we're 5th quickest. I think we're just going to sit this route out, obviously. We brought the same car here from the spring. we were pretty fast here. Just overtime didn't go so well for us. Us and the Busch Chevrolet, but we got a different paint scheme, much faster car. So it'll be pretty interesting. I think a lot of these guys are also going to be probably sitting out round 2, maybe sitting out round 1. Like our plan, the 4:14. He just jumped. He had a great lap moments ago. He just jumped up to 8th right now. So yeah, I think a lot of us are just going to sit out the rest of the round of these 7 minutes. That's Dylan Rowe said he's going to sit out and save his stuff for round 2 and possibly round 3. Round 2 and 3 and the race later tonight. To Bill. Standing next to the February winner here, Nate Sherman in the 48. And Nate, you're fast here in the spring. Can you bring that same magic tonight? Magic here in round 2, and that can land you the pole and possibly the win later tonight. Bill, honestly, our car was terrible in the practice session Friday evening. It did not want to turn worth a crap. So, honestly, Chad Knaus and the guys did a great job working early this morning, sitting out the first session this morning, allowing us to get some time to work on our car. And hopefully improving our Lowe's AC Smith Chevrolet for round 2. So yeah, we're just gonna save our stuff. Now, later tonight on NBC will be the Credit One Bank pre-race show, served by Sonic. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight will be the coverage of the Chevrolet MyLink 400. Anyways, speaking of Chevrolet, several drivers here Friday morning, actually morning and afternoon, ran ride-along deals with Chevrolet's entire 2018 lineup. Fans can ride along with their favorite drivers in a Camaro, a Corvette, the award-winning Chevy Silverado, Chevy Traverse, even their electric vehicles, the Chevy Bolt and Volts. So it was part of a good initiative that General Motors is putting on, allowing fans to ride along with their favorite driver in the Chevy vehicle of their choice. A few of them had a little bit of fun. On earlier Friday afternoon, see Dylan Murray, Chevrolet made a Camaro just for that Chevy team, the 4 team. He took a fan along and had a little bit of fun. In fact, the pace car tonight is a Chevrolet Camaro. It's the new 2018 Chevy Camaro SS. See that sitting at the entrance of pit lane. And after a few weeks of just straight up rain, after the rain we had Monday, it would be nice to see if we can get to have some beautiful weather Friday. And speaking of Well, tonight. And Derek Lewis came across the line and just set a new track record. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. All right. He came into this race tonight 16th on the cut line. This is amazing for him and his team. All right, good job. Now, if you look further down, it starts getting dicey, especially around the as you look further down in the field. With a minute 35 left, do you think you have time? Now, look at the hometown kid, Joseph Lombard. He knows he can't rely on 21st and 22nd. Brendan Little especially, he's right on that cut line. He's coming down. Looks like it might be a group of Fords going out. With a minute 31 left. Now Zorix Moon. Back to the gas. She's on. It's being led by Joseph Lombard in the 43. His YouTube channel, N2SE4R, him and his brother. In fact, they are actually going to give the command tonight. And the president of GM, EM, is actually going to wave the green flag tonight. The same guy that, wrecked the Corvette ZR1 pace car for at Belle Isle earlier this year. As time is stopped, Joseph Lombard makes it up a few spots from 22nd first to 19th. Zorix Moon stays in 23rd, and Brendan Little doesn't really do much in the way of improvement. So, Hot Wheels 44 barely held on to make it to this next round. Emphasis on barely. Barely made it in. So now here are the 24 that move on. Now, again, we talked about this earlier. Here are the 24 that are moving in to the second round shortly. Derek Lewis, he is a fellow Coloradan. That is English. So, meanwhile, we're going to be going to commercial break here. You're watching qualifying on TNT from California. Derek Lewis. was the fastest in the first round.
Despite genetic similarities, siblings often harbor tension between each other. This can result in provocations against the older counterpart. But these are merely attempts to discover his place in the family. Cobalt, the new commotion coming to the Chevy family. Aluminum wheels, rear spoiler, sunroof, the features you want at a price you'll love. Introducing the 2007 Chevy Cobalt Street Edition. Now get all these features for this great low price. Quantities are limited. Get yours now. See your local Chevy dealer. I like my beat down and my top lick. They can see me ride 24 on my power. Hey, like you travel up high and your top left back and your rim set high. Yo, with the bitch back, I like my beat down and my top lick. They can see me ride 24 on my power. Hey, like you travel up high and your top left back and your rim set high. Yo, with the bitch back, I like my beat down and my top lick. Chevy Impala SS, an American Revolution.
I low-key really want an Impala SS right now.
Introducing the all-new Silverado Heavy Duty. The most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
TNT Sports coverage of qualifying from Auto Club Speedway is brought to you by Chevy Cobalt, the new commotion coming to the Chevrolet family this fall. And by the new Chevy Impala SS, Chevy, an American revolution. And by the Chevy Silverado, Chevy trucks like a rock. Since this weekend is going to be the 17th anniversary of the attacks on September 11th, NASCAR and California are actually going to be doing a flash mob on the front stretch with cards that will be reading 9/11 Never Forgets. And Budweiser has also rented out airspace to play their air commercial as well. That obviously aired after the tragic attacks on that day. So it's going to be Salute to America later tonight with obviously the patriotism in the air and obviously the fact that this is the last regular season race. Anyways, patriotism and small gushing aside, we're going to be getting ready for round 2 very shortly. Earnhardt Ganassi cars were surprisingly fast in round 1. And I mean surprisingly. These guys were Earnhardt Ganassi cars were surprisingly fast in round 1. Derek Lewis especially. Now it's going to be 24 cars cut down to 12. Now this means drivers that do not have a win and want to start up front and be ahead of the chaos on the start, because we know this race is going to be wild, especially with the starts and restarts. And the fact that this track is going to change a lot tonight. And I mean a lot. So there's that too. We're getting ready for round 2 to start up in a few moments. "10 minutes starts now, and a huge land rush of cars coming out of pit lane. The question is, with this land rush of cars, drivers got to be careful. And this time, this land rush is being led by the 18. Everybody that was towards the bottom of the speed charts in round 1, like the 41, the 6, the 16, all these guys, they're going to try going out as early as they can to be as quick as they can, to not risk getting knocked out around 2 and have to pick their way through traffic. The 18 has brought his car onto the racetrack. We got 14 cars that made a huge rush toward the exits. That's go on board our 360-degree visor cam just to see how wide this track really is. The 18. See, I think a lot of the guys in round 1 were experimenting with lines and which would have been the quickest way around. Now we got 5 more cars behind, coming off 2 that are going to be coming to the green now. Now you're going on board the 18. Sorry, the 48. See, he's going to try to... He got a heck of a run going down. He barely beat the 18. Remember, those two do have a history. They both are in the chase. If we can flash back to earlier this year, down in Pikes Peak in June. Down at Pikes Peak, Nate Sherman with a last lap bump and run on the 18, in which afterwards in Victory Lane, Joshua Leanbatch walked by the 48. Nate Sherman said, "I'll remember this," basically. And do you think it'll come into question tonight? No, there's no way you're going to be paying a guy back on a track like this. I mean, we saw paybacks the past few weeks at Sebring, Portland, and to a lesser extent in Bristol, and to a lesser extent Darlington, which we might see one between the 19 and 88 tonight. 88. But of course, Dave may have more on that, details about that incident Monday. Dave, what do you got? Caleb Hoffman talked to Apollo Moon afterwards on Wednesday before these drivers flew in here, basically saying that it was completely my fault. I shouldn't have reacted the way I did. And however, he does remember that if it comes down to it, there will be a bumper used. Someone will put the bumper to another. So, could there be possible retribution in the chase between the 88 and the 19? Since they both have wins, Caleb Hoffman has a win at Vegas, and he had those 2 back-to-back wins at Sebring at Bristol. So, this could be an interesting little rivalry developing late in the season between these two. I got the last group of 5 cars that are on their way out. That obviously being led by the 25. Now the Credit One Bank Fast 5 in round 2 range are currently has been relatively unchanged, but how about this? Nate Sherman up to 4th behind the two Ganassi drivers and the 24, who has been the quickest so far in this round. And remember, this round will cut off at 12 people. I'll tell you, that 24 has been fast all year in whatever he's been in. And now Hunter Oni and Zach Speeder have been locked in a pretty tight battle. I mean, they've ran the past 5 laps, and it's mostly been limbo between those two. Anyways, Jonathan Morrison with a blistering lap, moving up to 7th. Now it's a lot of shuffling. You see the 5 come across the line. It's going to be fun to watch these two. Watch tonight. And how about this? Hunter Miller, this burst on the speed charts. This just got interesting. All right, shut it off, bud. Shut it off and coast. Shut it off. The 2. Oh, trouble. Turn 4. Looks like the 2 may have scraped the wall. He comes down off pit road. He is out of the way of everyone's way. We do stay green. The 2 has not really been that fast in this session, in this round so far. With the best time of 21st. Zoex Moon has laid her lap. She's moved up to 8th from being in 20th. Now, more people are beginning to now it's just the KFC Cup Series. He is on his lap. He is tracking surprisingly better than being the slowest car out there. The reason KFC Cup Series is marked in green is because of how surprisingly quiet he's been all year, with the exception of his 1 win at Kansas. And wow, what a lap for him. 5th for the 14. So we got 2 Hendrick cars, 2 Ganassi cars, and a Stewart-Haas car in the top 5. Then we got a Hendrick car, we got 2 Gibbs cars, and then we got a Penske car, the only Penske car inside the top 12, a Richard Childress car. Surprisingly, all 3 made it to the second round, and 2 Gibbs-related cars, even though this car is Furniture Row. And I think a lot of the guys are in the chase that are below the cut line, like the 2, the 41, the 11, the 88, and the 4. I think there's rumors that they're just going to save their stuff for tonight. The 4 especially, because he knows how rough this track can be on tires, and obviously with how hot it gets here this time of year. With how hot it gets, they're going to allow the teams to put an extra air hose to the cars. Anyways, round 2 is over. Hunter Miller is the quickest. So now Alvin Alonso unfortunately misses out on making it to round 3. So there's that too. So notably, we got of the 14 drivers, Hunter Miller, after Monday's race at Darlington, he has got enough points that he will be in the chase. So, same as Zark's Moon. If Zark's Moon starts tonight, just simply starts, which she's well on her way to doing that. If she starts tonight's race, she's in the chase. So now we got 6 drivers fighting for 2 spots. This is going to be a fun little race between these two. So now we got 12 cars getting ready for 5 minutes, and I believe that this might be an interesting session here. Question is, who will go out first, and will the possibility of people trying to draft off each other be a major concern or play an effect here as in this 5-minute session later session, which actually will take place fairly shortly. So there's that too. 5 minutes, round 3, let's go. And look at this. They're already got 1 car out on the track now. Wow, look at that. The 20 truck got a heck of a run coming out of the pits. Now we got a line of cars waiting. Looks like the Gibbs cars trying to get ahead of this, and I think everybody's just trying to get ahead of one another. Here. See Hunter Miller. Remember, he has not won this season, which is unusual because past few years he has earned a win one way or another. He's just had when he's not running well. I mean, it's not because he's not running well, because he's been one of the more consistent guys this year, because sometimes consistency is the key to winning these championships. However, wins will make this time of year a heck of a lot less stressful. Emphasis on stress. It's like only 4 cars have gone out so far, and I'm surprised the 78 didn't go. because he's a Gibbs car, and I'm surprised he didn't go out with the other three. Huh. Now, of these four, now we got only 4 cars that have taken time. I think they're going to shut down. And the quickest of these cars is the 18, followed by the 5, the 19, and the 20. They are your current top 4. There are 8 cars that have not taken time yet. Which means, with 2 minutes left, I think, are they waiting, I think? Or goes to 3. Finally taking some time after close to 2.5, after about 2.5 minutes of waiting. And the 78 throwing it in reverse, trying to get by that gap. So now we got 6. Okay, looks like the 1 and the 24 are out on the racetrack now. So now we got... There we go. Now everybody's out on the racetrack. Just everybody's sitting there just... Now the 3 is taking time. All right, you got a little bit of time to get to the green. That 24 got a bit of a run there. He drove it in nice and deep on that white line. And with this, the 3 is coming on the backstretch now. So there's the 20. Of this group, Jonathan Morrison jumps into 4th. Now of this group, Jacob Tube on the pole. Derek Lewis, maybe. No, Nate Sherman will be bringing this field to the green flag tonight at 9 on NBC. All right, great job, bud. Great job. All right, bud. Great job. You did good. Good job. Just like he did here just like how he was on the pole in the spring because rain canceled qualifying. He had a fast car then. He's got a fast car tonight. Nate Sherman in the 48, Grayson Alcevedo in the 1. They're going to be bringing this field to green later tonight. So, yeah. Nate Sherman will be on the pole for tonight. Make sure you tune in tonight at 9 on NBC for the coverage of the Chevrolet MyLink 400.